You have a frequency, height, weight, and mass, right? So I find your frequency, and then I use a vibrational scale to come up with the programs that works with whatever issues are in the tissues. And so I kind of developed a sonic tuning fork system that you can manipulate to adjust to each person's frequency.
Greetings, family. What's going on? This is David back again with Biohack Yourself Media. Today we're here at the incredible Sera Studios, joined by my brother Stefan, who has been in this business for about 20 years now, catering to all different crowds in different parts of the world, showing them innovative healing technologies for the body, mind, and spirit. And he's had many different companies. This one right here that he's going to show us today is an innovative biohacking technology. So if you could introduce yourself for us, Stefan, we'd love to hear about it.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Stefan Ananda, and was building vibroacoustics in the early 2000s, where I opened up Sera Vibroacoustic Wellness Center in San Francisco, and then it just kept developing into 10,000-foot warehouses and immersive events with immersive projection, sound floor experiences that go down to 0.1 hertz. So 48,000 watt sound floor, so it's one of the most powerful ones in history. I work in surround sound, Atmos, I work with sound seats, sound tables, plasma tubes with helium quartz crystal tubes, with Paul Harris's Quantify. And what I like about the Quantify is you can send your own frequencies to the Tesla towers. And programming it without the 60 hertz, which hurts, is kind of like the goal, is to be able to run your own 432 frequencies, 444, different sacred ratio numbers. I work in vibration, so stuff that's tuned proper to open up the cells. So I made a series of programs up in New York where I recorded the Bazantar, an upright bass with a sitar built into it, singers from the rainforest, Carlos from Brazil, and different sound healers in New York. And so these are some of the recordings I recorded in New York that I'm playing right now. And then I use a voice with an octaver. And so when you use the octaver, you can create these oscillations on the bass. And I'll just show you, for example. So that's an example of the voice octaver that I'll sing during a session, because it's important that you add analog, which is, you can have programs, but when you add your voice to it, it adds this other oscillation. Being able to slide from note to note and having total control over the oscillation with the bass, it kind of carries you while you're doing your journey on the sound table. So vibroacoustic means that it's more like a speaker. It's not just a sound table. Vibroacoustic means that you're getting the full tactile sensation through your bodies and and you can actually see through cymatics the imprints through a cymoscope. We usually have a speaker with a tub of water where you can actually see the patterns in the water. And so that's what's going on to the body. And so when people have stuck energy, shadows, any pain in the body, sound is one of the most non-invasive ways that actually releases the energy without having to feel the trauma to let it go. It's all about reprogramming. And so when you're working with sound, so with the plasma, it creates a more of a longitudinal magnetic wave. Helium is the most magnetic gas. And so that kind of mimics the sun. It gets you to cellular rejuvenate, actually get younger in these processes with the plasma tubes and the sound. And so most people feel like, they've got really amazing resets after one of the sonic sound journeys. I've been doing this for about 25, 30 years. Started in San Francisco, Philadelphia, New York, back to Philly. Been my hometown since the 1700s with my family. Feel pretty rooted here. But in any case, I built pyramids, sonic temples, electro. So I have these Jungai wands, which have an electrical current. So the current goes through the rock, and I'm doing frequency electrotherapy. So I turn on the electro device, and you can do different nodes on the body, right? So you got the pineal gland, you got your earlobes, you got that synchronizes the brain hemisphere, and you got to understand polarity. So when you're working with water, you don't go too alkaline or too acidic. So working with electro, you have different activation points on the body. So you can send the energy all the way up and down. There's pressure points on the feet. There's your armpits that get the lymph nodes. And so working with electro, it's kind of like a quick way to charge your battery, and you don't want to do too much electro because you don't want to overcharge. So I always say 9 minutes on, 9 minutes off, 9 minutes on, 9 minutes off. That way your body can self-heal and adjust to the frequency. So then I'll turn off the electro, and then I'll go back to singing for the client on the table. And so this is a sound seat as well. So I sit on a sound seat with a foot sound platform. So your feet, your hands and feet are all your meridians, right? And so when you're working with the sonic frequencies, your sound is coming through the feet, and then when you're sitting on a sound seat, it's coming up your sciatica, all the way up to your occipital. So when you stand straight up and down, you get this vibration that goes up the spine into the mind and releases those endorphins that, like when you're in samadhi and you got your mudras, you can really feel the vibration go up. If you're hunched over, what happens? The sound stops right at where you're hunched over. So it's always important when you're working on sound and sonic work to have your posture in the right position. Then your body can receive the vibration like fully. So these are the things I've been learning, which also translates to plants and also translates to brainwaves. So in any case, I think that covers most of it.
My last question here as well for you is, how did you get into the science of this? Where did your journey start, and how have you come across a lot of these discoveries? Where can people research more about it?
I met a guy in early 2000s. His name's Rossi. He's a 6'10" empowerment trainer with herbs, and he gave me all this science from the Egyptians about how they were sonic pyramids back in the day, with frequencies of F sharp, C sharp, A sharp, B sharp, and tuning forks that would turn the pyramids into a hydrogen power plant. So learning about the frequencies, I started building sonic transducers that go on each chakra. So I took transducers and put them in a heat-resistant bag, and then put them on each chakra. Then I did planks that sweep the body. Then I did sound pyramids. So I kind of took everything as a sonic technology, especially working with pyramids. It's proven that your food will have a lot more life and doesn't get moldy. And then working with pulsed electromagnetic therapies as well with the iPyramids Taurus. These are all great ways to penetrate. I've bumped into a lot of sound healers out there, Jonathan Goldman and the whole crew, Stephen Halpern, Jeffrey Thompson. These are all my West Coast people. And then on the East Coast, there's, but this is what I've been doing for years. And so I kind of started pioneering it before everybody else did. But it's just catching on now. But a lot of the musicians I record, I'll end up using through the sound table, whether it's Tibetan music, didgeridoos, shamans, classical music. But I'll try to tune it to 432, so it's tuned to the earth, because I really believe in tuning to the earth to kind of reclaim your soul back. That puts you in alignment with the earth energy, because the earth is a whole energy of negative ions, and we're kind of built up with positive ions. So being able to turn your body into a battery